whole myriad of types of weathers out there.
Hope Brooks got something heavy in her pockets today, otherwise she might take off.
Yes, our thoughts are with Sakura Yokomine then.
Yeah. Brooke Henderson's day so far has been solid but unspectacular. 6 pars to begin with. Anything on the green within 35 feet is more than acceptable in these conditions.
She just keeps on putting herself in a position to have a really good look at birdie. They are makeable putts, distancing herself from the rest of the field.
Brooke Henderson from over on the left on 7. Shy by for her birdie. All pars on Brooke's card so far today. We've seen her get off to some red-hot starts last week in Rainwood. Just absolutely blitzed the...
This is in particular, she just doesn't give shots away and very tenacious.
What about his other job in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Donatello?
Just 85 yards for Brooke Henderson. Good-looking shot, this.
Well, she needs to kickstart her round. Brooke Henderson currently even par. And
Nice low ball flight on this. This is holding well against the breeze. It'll just be right centre. It'll be a good position.
There's the sister act. Be in Alison Lee territory. If she could run up and ask Alison how to hit that putt, well, the answer is we know. It's pretty straight. It was straight in from Alison just a few moments ago.
dead so far this week.
Here's Alison Lee's putt, but this time it's Brooke Henderson. And Alison pretty much took dead aim and knocked it straight in the middle of the hole. And that one went dead straight as well.
So many competing slopes out on these greens. Certainly put some pretty cheeky pin positions out there today, and it is tough to judge, you know, when you've got a bunker coming off the left, you're going up and over a swale that runs right to left, and intuitively everything usually runs towards the water hazards as well. So you up ahead on 10, Brooke Henderson yet to break through with a birdie on the uphill par 4, 10th hole. Just 1 under par for Brooks' round so far today, 10 and 35.
It's 30 yards shorter today.
That's been her consistent miss so far. The section today, 8 on, 4 from the right.
Really not much club required for Henderson.
Well, the body language worked perfectly.
Well, that was great.
Tuck that shirt in. As my mum used to say, you get a chill in your kidneys. The unmistakable putter of Brooke Henderson.
It's scary to think what a player like Brooke can do on a good putting day. She's been in contention the last 2 weeks. Her ball striking is on point.
Be of the day. That's a long time coming.
And leaving nothing behind for Henderson. It's a narrow driving hole, the 11th. Oh, she got backspin on that ball. tough. They've really brought the...
So good.
Out of the rough. Brooke Henderson has a really nice angle in here, but it will be tough to judge this down breeze. Needs a big hop.
And a skip and a jump. A lot of work to do in that putt. Comes up a slope. It's on the back tier where the hole is located. Gives them what they want.
Long-range birdie putt for Brooke Henderson to break out of the tie for second with Leanne Pace, who's got a testing par putt coming up in a moment. Always difficult to get that pace right when it's been raining so heavily and you've got such a long putt. And she too is going to have a testing putt to remain at 9 under, so both players will be eyeballing each other.
The greens here started the day around the 11 mark on the stimp meter, but I think given the wind, some putts are closer to an 8, given a down.
And probably 6, maybe even a couple more than that. Sarah Jane Smith of Australia is having a good week too. She's 6 under for the week, 1 under for the day. Carlotta Saganda's 6 under. Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff is 6 under. So there's a whole host of players within a couple of shots of third place. Now a 4-way tie for third at 8 under. Kung, Pace, Henderson, Hyoju Kim. Back to that shortly.
Brooke Henderson well within reach of this short par 5, 12th hole. Get a nice drive up this right side. Not to beat when playing into the players off the right.
From there, okay, not great. Outside chance of a birdie.
That was as good as it comes from me, actually. Most of my accents sound the same, so it's just foreign across the board.
Outside chance of a birdie only for Brooke.
Another kind of poppy putting stroke there from Brooke. Has a tendency to almost change tempo around impact sometimes. When you see her putting well, it looks a lot more fluid. We've seen her pull her sister and caddie, Brittany, in on quite a few putts over the last 2 weeks. As a general rule, she only does it when she's in doubt of the line, but Brittany's certainly been a little bit more involved in recent times.
Brittany's a good player in her own right.
Yeah, she is. Well, she actually held the record for quite a long time on the national team of Canada. She joined when she was 14, and then she was the youngest player ever to do that at that point in time. And then her sister Brooke pipped her by, I think, about 6 months. So not to be outdone, the younger sister in the mix.
With everything that's going on in the battle for third, this is an important putt.
Before Lexi Thompson went 20 holes with Tiff Joe. That's when I saw her play. MJ Herr, Lindy Duncan, head to head with a lot of LPGA players.
Always hard to tell from Brooke's reaction just how bad it was, and that got the absolute apex of the shoulder and gained her about 40 yards.
You don't see too.
Straight off the shoulder of that bunker that Brooke Henderson is staring at now. And an excellent approach from Brooke, and she too will have a birdie putt. But the way Hyo-Joo Kim's going, she's put the foot down. Outstanding approach at 12. Box. In fact, she's here with us now. I've interviewed swimmers who are less wet than you are.
Look, I have to say, although I'm drenched, and I'll apologise for my bare feet in here in a moment because my shoes are soaked, it was so entertaining out there. You know, you forget about the wind and the rain, and it's been extraordinary golf to have the pleasure to watch, really. Shan-Shan's been amazing.
Yeah, what's a little drop of rain? It's only water anyway.
That's right, it'll dry out eventually.
Brooke Henderson needing to hold this because Hyo-Joo Kim is starting to make a move on third. And by the look of things, the weather has just got about 5 times worse, which means that Alison Whittaker must be making her way out to the golf course.
Yeah, I knew it would as soon as I came in. I thought, now it'll turn nasty. It's nearly the kiss of death with the weather. Of course, the pressure of Sunday.
Henderson, who so regularly finds herself at the sharp end of a leaderboard come Sunday. What a year she's had. A major champion at the age of 18. She's 19 now and added another LPGA victory in the Portland Cambria Classic. Defended that.
Brooke Henderson, par 4, 15th. You can play it a little out down the right centre. The pin is tucked tight on the water at the front. Ball stays up there for quite some time, and I think it's found just the short cut of rough. It was definitely a big frog.
Okay, wasn't she?
Well, we said we were wondering how Brooke had stopped, whether she'd stopped in the first cut or the second cut, and it looks as though she just made her way into that second cut. She's got a good angle to come in here, but of course control of the golf ball is going to be an issue.
Yeah, it's hard because it looks like it may be just laying up against that as well, which does make it very difficult. So to try and get it controlled, although you do have the advantage here of being into the breeze, but it's very hard to know if you're going to get a little bit of a flyer out of these sorts of lies. Heavy contact. She's made a pretty good fist of it. It's okay, putting for birdie.
That's the smart shot.
Of course, just sat down, but that's okay. Birdie putt for Brooke Henderson on the 16th, ahead of our final group. Up the hill. It wasn't a bad putt. Conditions not getting any easier. You can see those palms in the back. It's just been absolute gale winds out there today. Tough day.
No idea. Brooke Henderson looking away pretty quickly. Didn't want to see a good shot.
That is very nice into 17. Playing 150 yards today, but the wind is the big factor, of course.
The players and the spectators alike, but they've come in their numbers and they've seen a memorable battle today after what they were likely to see at the start of the day was something of a triumphal march for Hannah Jang. Brooke Henderson's got a really good look up the length of the green here at 18, and she'll be thinking inside the 2 balls that are already there. May still not be enough to get her up into third, but every little bit counts. And she does that, and does it nicely.
Yeah, lovely little shot there, and she can pop that in. It'll be a 2-under par round today, but we'll take her into double figures. Tied with Hyo-Joo Kim, who she's playing alongside, has a birdie putt, so there's a little battle going on for 3rd and 4th place.
Right, third. And Brooke Henderson has the chance of moving into the tie. a young park behind them also has that opportunity as well. She's going to be some player, this young lady.
She already is.
Yeah, and she's only going to get better.
Mm-hmm. So this will be for a round of 70 for Brooke Henderson. Bounce her up to -10. Tie for third.
Birdie finish. There'd be a few in the field who would give good dollars for that, speaking of dollars.